You're sitting in your room like, should I make this vision board? Should I not? Is it worth it? Do they even really work? After watching this video, this will be enough to tell you to make the vision board. When people think about a vision board, I feel like they get it misconstrued with some type of magic and like luck, and this is why this is happening. But actually, there's a science to it. Let's get down to the science. Your brain can't tell the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. This is why visualizations and vision boards make sense. There's a system in your brain that helps you notice and grasp onto opportunities that align with the goals and what you focus on the most. Hence why creating a vision board and then putting it as your lock screen or putting it like somewhere in your room where you constantly see it reinforces the energy, the optimism to go get that goal. So when you're constantly aligning yourself with something or constantly focused on it or have it in the front of mind all the time, you're going to want to focus on that, and what you focus is the area which stuff grows. I talked a little bit about this on my TikTok. I actually made a video about this. So a lot of people feel like dopamine really hits when you attain the goal and when you get to the goal you want to have like on your vision board, but in actuality your biggest amount of dopamine comes from creating the vision board. So the anticipation of starting a goal, or the anticipation of starting to go to the gym, or the anticipation of setting a goal like I'm going to do this tomorrow, or I'm going to do this or whatever, so and so, that's where the most of your dopamine comes from. And then later on it starts to flee. This is why you can create a plan to go to the gym 5 times a week, and then by the time the end of the week comes, like the 3rd or 4th day, you're like, I don't have the motivation to do it anymore, because the motivation and the dopamine comes from the intent and the anticipation of getting to this goal. So although I'm a big advocate on creating vision boards, there is more to it. You have to create actual systems. So of course, creating a vision board helps. Creating a vision board breaks. Creating a vision board actually has scientific neuroscience behind it. You see something every day, you have the intent, your brain actually aligns you with things, opportunities to get to that goal. It stays in the front of mind. You don't forget about it. Motivation may be fleeting. This is where systems come to play. You have systems to get you to every single step you need to get to the ultimate goal. But I can show you better than I can tell you. So here is my 2025 wrap, my vision boards to reality, and how I got to those goals. So this was one of the photos I put on my vision board, and it represented me having like a new position, getting internships, overall doing more in my major. So if you've been for a while, you know that my major was originally marketing. Now spring semester of 2025, I ended up changing my major to advertising. I felt like I was just more creative and I needed more flexibility, and that major specifically at my school was different than other universities' marketing majors. And I did a lot of looking around. I was like, okay, advertising and with a minor in business fits what I'm looking for. Now keep in mind, I changed my major the spring semester 2025. Now I'm almost like halfway done with college. I'm like, this is not the right thing to do. And the whole winter break before the spring semester started, I was actually thinking like, is this the right thing to do? I feel like I'm pivoting like too much. I feel like this is a big change, and I'm already like halfway through basically. And I know a lot of people change their majors like a lot of times, but like me just like thought I was being so set on something, then like changing it was like, I'm not comfortable doing this. But this comes to my biggest lesson. So that same spring semester when I changed my major, after winter break, I ended up getting a position as an account manager at an agency through my university. My biggest lesson about that is that you can't be afraid to pivot. Now it may be uncomfortable, but you have to get to a point where you embrace uncomfortability, to the point where like something's uncomfortable but you do it anyway. And I feel like that's where I was at. And it's like I was going back and forth about changing my major, y'all. Like the whole fall semester of sophomore year, like I felt like it just wasn't right. And like the spring semester when I was actually supposed to start my classes and like, you know, get into actual like major related coursework besides like prereqs and stuff like that, and I was like, I have to move. I don't want to start my coursework in this major I'm not going to have anymore. So I changed my major. Best decision I've ever made. It seems like after that everything just started aligning. Like as soon as I changed my major, went to a career fair, got a position to my university, my account manager, actually just got to a different position now. I'm actually the lead of new business at the same agency. So, and I haven't been here a year yet, y'all. Not even a year. So my biggest lesson for that is like literally you have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and like okay with pivoting at any change and knowing when to pivot, and like being confident in your pivot. Another one of the photos I had on my vision board is right here, and this is a creative picture from a creative loft at like one of the like brand events held by Kate Spade. I put that on my vision board because I just really wanted to get more into content creating and like more doing it with like an audience and like having community and all types of things. And if you watched my New York vlog, you know I mentioned like I wish the city I live in, Detroit, had like a bigger creative community. Like I wish it was like events we could all go to and like network, because like I feel like you have to be around people that get it. Well, you're fortunate to be around people that get it, and you do not. You have to like really rely on like your own motivation, like just having a sense of securement in what you're doing. Because like I used to feel like, oh, like not many people in Detroit are like creating content, or like not that many people. But I have seen a big jump in content over the years, so that's amazing to see. But at first I was like, I'm uncomfortable doing this, like no one else is doing this or whatever. But it's really important that you still do it anyway. So I still did it anyway. In my New York vlog, I talked about that. And this past summer, I actually got invited to a creator club. Not even a creator event, a creator club. Like this Detroit creator club. But I ended up seeing it, I came across it, and I was like, okay. So I sent it to a few of my other creator friends or whatever, or like other people I knew in the city of content, whatever. And they had their very first inaugural meeting. And when I got that email and said I was invited, they would love to have me there. And it's crazy because I had just brung that up the summer before, and like the very next summer there's a whole like vibrant creator club in Detroit, like a whole community, like tons of events, tons of like big brand events, like Pilates events, collabs with like Mercedes-Benz, a whole bunch, like hotels, like popular high class restaurants in Detroit, like a lot, festivals. And I was able to like really be a part of this community and like go to these events from literally having the audacity. And then one thing I feel like I really learned is like life really rewards audacity. Like you can't be too caught up in like asking for permission or like playing it safe or like playing it small. Like I literally put myself out there, posted the content, shot my shot every single day, like just putting my content out there. And like there's a vast amount of different creators in this club in Detroit, like from fashion influencers, lifestyle creators, lifestyle influencers, foodies, a vast majority. People have 50,000, 30,000, 20,000, 100,000, like 5,000. And I still shot my shot with me at the time only have like 1,000 followers, or like on my TikTok whatever, and like 1,000, like 700 something like that, like on my Instagram, and got it. You literally cannot play small. You have to put yourself out there and put it in their face every single day. And I say that like literally you have to push yourself, because no one's going to push you like you're going to push you. And you have to have the audacity to still step out there. Like having a small following doesn't matter. If you know who you are, you know what you offer and what value you have, you literally just have to go for it. And this kind of brings me to my next point. One of my biggest lessons also is you really have to rid yourself of being perceived. I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to show up as this. I don't want people to think this or that, perceive me as like trying too hard, perceive me as a beginner. And I know this comes from like a lineage of different things, like some type of like self-consciousness, or sometimes it might come from something like being afraid of being a beginner, being a perfectionist, because I feel like I've had that. I've definitely experienced that. Like sometimes I don't want to put some content out, or like don't want to promote it because it's like it's not the best. But everyone starts somewhere. The creator you love watching started somewhere. I was literally just watching like one of Kyra old videos, Kyra Mini, one of my favorite YouTubers, and she's literally working as a phlebotomist, vlogging off, I think her phone at the time, I'm not sure, but vlogging off what she had, vlogging what she had. Like may not have had the like luxurious lifestyle, but you have, everyone has an audience. I always say this: if you want to create content, your audience will find you. I don't care if you were just going to the park doing a visual diary, someone's going to watch, someone's going to like it. You have to think about how many type of people is in this world, and then how many amount of like creators are in this world who like document their life or document various different things, or even those niche things. Like someone might just document them building something, or like people are literally recording themselves and having an audience from cleaning their home. There's people out here who clean their home for content. People out here who literally just record themselves studying, like make it cinematic and make it visually appealing, and like put great music on it. There's literally an audience for everything. And it's some people you may run across, whatever, who have like these niche interests. There's an audience for it. Whatever you're thinking about, there's an audience for it. You really just have to get rid of the fear of being perceived, because you're gonna get perceived regardless, honestly. Whether it's something that like or don't like, feedback you like or don't like. When you first meet someone, you're getting perceived. When you walk outside to the store or whatever, you're getting perceived in some type of way. But one thing I found to help me with that is literally focusing on myself. I don't care if this means you have to delete social media or like get off it, not being on it as much. Focus on yourself. Even when I vlog in public, like being completely transparent, y'all, I still be having some type of like anxiety, like a little anxiousness vlogging in public, because I have a big camera, like, and I don't have a DJI Osmo Pocket, a little tiny camera sitting right now. I don't have it, but I don't have it on purpose. I told myself like buying a smaller camera won't help you get over your whatever, your fear of being perceived. Like it won't help that, because you're still gonna have that. It's gonna be like masked a little bit. Me, I feel like honestly, me having like such a huge camera, like not a huge camera because I have the Sony VZV one, like it's a vlogging camera, but carrying that, it's like so visible. People are going to look, but you have to be comfortable with people going to look. You have to be comfortable with people looking. I literally did like a vlog in a cafe and I was filming my visual diary. People don't care as much as you think they care. I've learned that. I literally was vlogging in a cafe, had my camera set up. I'm drinking my little cafe drink. It's like a latte or whatever. Eating my little croissant sandwich. Vlogging me, literally vlogging, like just me doing work or whatever for my visual diary. And people walked past, looked for a second. That was that. sonder. People have complex lives other than your own. People have their own things going on. People really don't care that much, honestly. I remember my first time ever like recording me in a gym. People don't care that much. People don't care that much. But one thing I would say that me is like, you literally just focus on what you're doing. I feel sometimes when people like vlog and they're like looking at other people, like looking at other people's perceptionism, that's where you get like kind of, you know, a little more like self-conscious. But like literally, I'm vlogging. I'm looking at me. I'm not even paying attention to who's looking at me. I'm looking at me in a camera. Of course, still like aware of my surroundings, but like I'm looking at me. And I compared the two when I did that versus when I'm looking around while I'm vlogging to see other people's like reaction. It makes you more uneasy. Like literally focus on yourself. Another picture I have here was this inspo of like someone getting their apartment. As you do know, I am a junior in college, so I got like my first apartment this past like summer, going into the fall semester. Love it. 10 out of 10. Just love it. Then right here, it's like a 1K balloon I found on Pinterest, like a camera and like someone celebrating it with a cake. And the reason I put that is because I really wanted to get 1K on TikTok, and like my main focus to get that was like not just putting a pretty picture on the vision board, but I actually put like a whole system behind it. I planned out all my content. I knew how many times I was gonna post. I researched and saw like what was doing better, like what wasn't, and I made it a habit. For example, Friday might be a brainstorm day, Saturday might be a film day, and then Sunday might be a revised caption, schedule, and edit day. Like making everything into a routine and making everything into like a habit, like it's a habit, made it like time easier. I'm almost at 2K now. We will be at like 5K, 10K soon, very soon. This picture right here too was just me wanting to learn more things and like learn a lot more. I'm like obsessed with like learning stuff, whether that's like in college and like my own like self-development. Like I'm very big on like self-development actually, which y'all probably could tell, but like I'm huge on that. Like I would literally find different books or like watch different videos on certain different topics, whatever. And I know sometimes people can get like a little too caught up in that to the point where it's like, okay, you think you have to change everything about yourself, and that's not the case. But a healthy balance is like so good. To be like self-aware, to know different like scientific or neuroscience behind things, why you do things you do, how you can improve them, how your brains work and stuff like that. I really love, like to a T. That's like my area. And then like always, of course, like y'all know I'm big on business, so like I always wanted to like go into different meetings, whatever. I actually went to Boston this past spring on an entrepreneurship and business trip with my university because I'm on the executive board for that, and we've met some amazing people, so many like people in like high places, and like just overall like was able to like network with them, go to vision these Fortune 500 companies, these big industry companies, like talk and like network, get some valuable connections, everything. And like I'm a big fan of like business strategy, like so talking to those people and like finding out how they got where they got, and not even only that, but like getting to learn about the business side of things. I love it. That's like definitely me. And then another goal for me was like moving my body more and like going to Pilates, whatever, which I started. I actually love Pilates now. Like y'all, that's like my #1 thing. It sounds like weight training that I love doing. And then of course like getting closer to God. Of course it's always in there every year. So with all of that, I feel like I got to those places literally by being intentional. Like I just mentioned, me starting uni, being in these rooms I need to be in, meeting these different people, putting myself out there, getting rid of the fear of being received, not asking for permission, having the audacity, going for it. That's really one of the lessons I want to also include. You have to be intentional. Anything that doesn't align with where you're trying to go or like what you're trying to do or any of that, you literally have to get rid of it, remove it, say no to it, and get yourself out of that environment. And also you have to like really lock in on that and like know what you're going for and like have the discipline to be like, okay, I'm not doing this. One thing I learned too after reading Atomic Habits is like disciplined people aren't really that disciplined. It's not a matter of like, oh, someone's more disciplined than the other. The people that are deemed more disciplined actually are better in not putting themselves in positions where they have to be disciplined. Just realizing that like these people don't have like an extraordinary power or whatever that makes them like just so. No, they just don't put themselves in positions where they have to be disciplined or where they know they have to like have this like heroic self-control. They just don't put themselves in those positions. If something's not aligned with you, you have to like remove it. Another thing I learned from Atomic Habits I'm currently reading, I recommend that book to anyone who's in their 20s, especially like learning and like wanting to do different things and like trying to grow or trying to get somewhere else or just really trying to better their life. I definitely recommend Atomic Habits. I feel like I've been sleeping on it. I've been supposed to read that book for a long time, but I was like, oh, I have to have the physical book. Y'all, I've been had the PDF version and audiobook from Audible. I've been had it. I just never, that's another thing, like making excuses for myself, like, oh, I have to have the physical book. No, I literally came home from college was like, you know what, I'm gonna like read this book in its entirety before the summer is over. But anyways, one of the things I learned from Atomic Habits is you can be 1% better each day. Book Atomic Habits, if you're not familiar with it, it's about you having these atomic, very small atomic changes for incredible results. I literally love how the book focuses on the smallest things to change, because like I feel like a lot of people think like a rebrand or like to get where I want to be have to be like these big humongous results, but in actuality the tiniest changes makes the most remarkable results. Overall, movement matters. So with this going into the new year, like even just me wanting to set a plan and set a habit to read one page of a book every day or like whatever, that overall I'm probably going to be like through so many books by the end of the year. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to like start strong, like okay, I'm gonna, New Year's come, I'm going to go full throttle in the gym. Tiny changes actually marks up to more results than big changes that you make things. Tiny changes, 1% better each day, marks up to like you'll be amazed by where you are. And I feel like I really realized that this past year, because even me being invited to the creative club at Detroit, I was like, okay, like I posted whatever, I post here and there, but I've never stopped posting. Even when I like did like YouTube in like high school, which wasn't that serious for real, I was posting here and there, and like I always posted, like I stay consistent. Like I might not have posted like three videos a day, but like I at least post like once a month or like twice a week, whatever. And those tiny changes over the years, I feel like it's got me where I am today. The tiniest things, like if I just did like a whole like month spree on YouTube, posting a video every single day or whatever, and just like stop posting for a while, I don't feel like that would have had a better result than over the years staying consistent. So the tiniest things matter. And this can always like also have like a downside effect too. Like it's always like a positive and a negative. So having the tiny things keep on like adding up, like it creates a scorecard. Like little things matter, the little moments matter, the little habits matter. Everything that you're doing literally makes up to who you're going to be in the future. And I feel like this also can go a negative way. Like if you're constantly making these little promises to yourself and you don't follow through with them, your body is keeping a scorecard. It's going to remember like every time that you say you're going to do something you never did, to the point where like you're eventually like not going to trust yourself, or it remembers every single little thing. So if you say you're going to go to the gym tomorrow, go to the gym. If you skip a day, cool. Don't let it be repeated. I think one of the things that the author mentioned was some of the small things. Like someone might be like, oh, I'm just not going to go to the gym. And them small little habits over and over again, then like a month goes by, you're not at the gym. You don't have the body that you wanted. Or you start going to the gym with a positive note, and like day after day, it works out. So this is your reminder to keep those promises to yourself. They literally matter more than you think, and you need to be able to trust yourself to get to where you want to be. Start with these ridiculously small things, like I'm going to make my bed every day, I'm going to do my full skincare every night. Start with the smallest things, and you will begin to gain that trust and that confidence back in yourself to get where you want to be. So as for a recap on how I feel like I was able to get to my goals, God willing of course, recap other things that I feel like are essential for every person watching this video is don't be afraid to pivot. If you need to pivot, if you feel like you need to move, if you feel like you've been contemplating a move but you don't want to do it, this is your time to do that. Don't ask for permission. Life rewards audacity. Success rewards audacity. You have to have the confidence to just go for it and not play small and not wait for permission. Rid yourself of the fear of being perceived. Exposure, being visually out there gets you opportunities. Put yourself out there. Go to that meeting. Go to that event. Put yourself out there. Be intentional. If it's anything that doesn't align with where you're trying to go, what you're doing, not of your brand, your personal brand, rid yourself of it, remove it, get rid of it with a quickness, and stand firm in yourself. Pledge yourself to be 1% better each day. It doesn't have to be a drastic change. It doesn't have to be a complete rebrand. Just focus on doing the little things each day that adds up, because movement matters and it builds momentum, and you will get to where you want to get to. Focus on smallest things every single day you can get to be where you want to be by the end of the year, about 2 years from now, 5 years, whatever. Focus on the moments that you can control, which is today, right now. What can you be doing right now? If you had to erase your ultimate goal out of your mind and you only had to work with what you had, what would you be doing right now to get there? What would that person be doing right now before they're even there? Think about that. If you are watching this on New Year's Eve, I hope you're making your vision board, making your plans, staying strict into who you want to be, standing firm in what you're going to do in 2026. I want you to start now. You don't have to wait until like, you know, a Monday or whatever. You can literally start now. I know a lot of people start like to do that because it feels like a fresh start, but you don't have to. You can start now. I hope you are really prioritizing you. I hope that you understand that you literally are the editor of your life. You can literally do anything you want to do. Really keep the faith, momentum going, believe in yourself, stand firm, be confident, build your confidence, keep promises to yourself, and I hope you have an amazing 2026. We're gonna do another one of these check-ins. You already know how I am. And in Q2, I'm gonna check back in, see where you guys are at. I'm wishing us an abundant year full of blessings, wealth, prosperity, and I hope really hope you watching this accomplish your goals. I'm rooting for you. I don't even know you, but I'm rooting for you, truly. And I'm happy that we can do this together. And if you want to keep in contact or whatever, I'm on TikTok, so don't be a stranger. And Happy New Year.